What's up, Magic Makers? Drew here, and I'm a little crooked, but it'll only be for a minute. Today I want to share with you all what I refer to as magical concretions. So what is that? Basically, it's a working in which something is made concrete, literally. So the working is given some solidity, a sense of permanence to an extent, through the actual physical components. We'll just get into it and maybe it'll make more sense that way. Now, typically this kind of working I would do with literal concrete, but I don't have any concrete at the moment. I'm not going to buy a big bag of concrete for this purpose. So there are actually several mediums that you could use, and I decided to just grab one of these little kits. Now, I know you can get them at Michael's and like Hobby Lobby. I actually picked this one up at Walmart. I know Brittany just grinned. They didn't have, I went to Michael's. I had to get some other things, but they didn't have one at Michael's, so we went over to Walmart and got one there. But yeah, it's a little kit for making stepping stones, and it's for kids, but that's all right. So it comes with all this stuff. You can make 4, so there's 4 packs of this plaster material. There's a tray, and it has like this design on it, but that's going to be the bottom of mine because I don't have a problem with the design, but I want to do my own thing in the top, so the top is going to be what would be the bottom. And then you get all these other little goodies. Ceramic paint. I am not going to be utilizing this for this project. Here's your stir stick. You get a paintbrush for your paint. You get these little gems I won't be using, stickers I won't be using for this. This is probably the mask. They give you a mask so you don't breathe in any plaster dust. Here are your gloves that you get. Here's some little like mosaic tiles I also will not be using. And of course you get a full set of instructions, which are very easy to follow. Now, I did not know upon purchasing the kit that you are encouraged to have a disposable mixing bowl to use for this project. I don't have that. I'm not going to go buy it either, so I'm just going to use, I have these disposable aluminum baking trays. I'm just going to use that to mix my plaster in. The first step with this is to add in 1 cup of warm water, and it needs to be warm. Apparently, if it's too cold, makes sense, it will start to harden almost immediately and you can't work with it. And the opposite is true if it's too hot. It'll take forever to solidify and to harden. So you want it to be about room temperature, apparently. You start off by pouring that cup of water into your dish, and then pour in about half of this mixture and mix that in. And then you just keep adding, you get another cup of warm water and you just keep adding a bit of both. And you want the consistency apparently to be about like cake batter. I've got my cup of warm water. I hadn't mentioned I did lay down a piece of paper because I did want to minimize any mess and make the cleanup a bit easier. I'm not putting on the gloves. I might regret that later. We'll see. It's really soupy right now. I'm gonna add some more. You can do a concretion for any purpose. You know, love, protection, what have you. This concretion, I'm gonna need more water. Okay, I've gotten my second cup of water so that I can be slowly adding in a little bit of water at a time. Well, finishing this off. As I was saying, you can make a concretion for any reason. Solidify a love relationship or job opportunity, like a position that you've gotten that you want to keep. Whatever, protection for the home, because these are pavers, so I'm going to be putting it outside the home. The one that I am making, however, is for blessings. I already have a ton of protection stuff up around the house. My husband and I have done our due diligence in that regard. I don't really want to make it for protection personally. So this is purely for blessings. And I don't know, yeah, you can kind of see here. I put them in the tray. all the herbs that I will be using, and I just chose herbs that I personally associate with blessings. So for, you know, love, luck, good fortune, happiness, prosperity, success, that kind of thing. So I've got some lemon balm, rose, wisteria. I've got chamomile, mint, and what was the first thing? Rosemary. And that is it, I believe. And I'm going to be putting that in my little mixture here, which I'm actually pretty happy with the consistency as it is. Yeah, I think that's good. So I'm going to be adding it into my mixture. And this is the magic part, of course, other than my intent and the energetic work that I'll be doing with it. And mix all that in. I thought about putting essential oils in, but not knowing what that would do to the composition, how it would solidify, I didn't want to do that. Of course, I could put crystals. If I were going to do that, though, I would probably lay them at the top where you could see them, because it is going to be like a little paver stepping stone out in the yard. I'm not going to be too picky about getting all of this material out because it's just going to go back in there anyway. So I'm going to take a moment, and I want to quickly start putting some intent into this and some of my energy into this while I'm doing this. So I'm going to do that. Okay, I have decided that I'm good. So I'm going to pour it in the tray, and oh, it's a little thicker than maybe it should be, but I will work it out. Now, this would probably be working for me better if it was a bowl rather than this bread pan, but it's all right. I do want to try to get as much of it out as I can, especially any of the like herbs. All right, I'm happy. I'm satisfied with that. So I'm going to spread it around. Now, they say that this should take about 8 hours to set. I am going to leave it for probably closer to 24, just because it'll be nighttime by the time 8 hours rolls around, so I'll just wait till tomorrow. And they did warn that if you're not careful, if you try to remove it too early, that it will crack. So you definitely want to give it the time it needs. Now I'm just going to kind of leave this. I think I'll sprinkle some more pretty herb on the top. I want it to set up a little bit, and then I'm going to come in, and I don't know, maybe it might take now. I'll try. I have a symbol that I want to create in the center of this. So I made it pretty thick, so it might work right now. So I'm going to try that real quick. Okay, I'm just going to use my ball tool. I can wipe it off afterward, and it's the size that I want to make the pattern that I want. No, maybe I'll do it a bit smaller. Oh, it's already trying to like solidify. So I've chosen the triple spiral as my symbol that I wanted to carve in, just because, I don't know, it's the first, when I was thinking about what I wanted the symbol to be for blessings, that's just what kept coming to me. So it's what I've gone with. I want to work kind of quickly because it's already trying to solidify on me, but I'm going to put a little bit of magnetic sand. My idea is to put it in the symbol, but we'll see how good I do with that. And you know, you could just use, if you were going to do something similar, you could just use, if I were going to do protection, for instance, I might use terracotta dust rather than the magnetic sand. Or if I were going to do prosperity, maybe I would do like powdered cinnamon or clove dust or something along those lines. You know, you're only limited by your resources and your own personal preferences when it comes to materials that you work with. And I do want to just a little bit of pretty on the top, and I'm gonna actually press it in a bit. Oh gosh, this is really like, I don't even know that these are gonna, it's really solidified already. I should have worked faster. Again, I've never worked with this material. Yeah, it doesn't look like I'm gonna be able to get any herbage to really stay in there. I am stubborn. I think what I'm gonna do actually is I'm gonna go ahead and just put what I want on top as far as the herbs go. and then I'm going to spray it with some water. Well, I tried, but that is definitely not going to work. It is just, it's impenetrable at this point. So if you're going to use these type of kits and do this, know that it's going to set pretty quickly unless you use a lot hotter water than I did, which I used about room temperature. So anything you want to do like this isn't going to, unfortunately, it's not going to work out. I'm just going to kind of leave it for the most part and come back later and see. I don't think it's going to even need 8 hours to set. It's really hard already. Okay, I have put it here. Oh, my shadow is all in the way. Right in between the lemon balm and the mint. I actually put it in various places, but it just didn't, energetically, it didn't fit. It just, that's where it needs to be. So there you go. There's my Blessings Concretion that I have out in the yard, and I can make 3 more of these. So I don't know what I'm going to use them for, but I'm definitely going to make more. I did want to mention, in case I forgot yesterday, that a concretion does not have to look like this. It can be any shape or size. It can be, it does not have to be pretty. As a matter of fact, I think concretions are a wonderful method of binding. And in that instance, I don't need them to be pretty at all because they're probably going to get buried in the ground or hidden away somewhere anyway. At any rate, guys, I hope you enjoyed this, and as always, thanks for watching, and until next time, much love and gratitude.